In Japan, taxi drivers regularly run their Toyota Crowns past 500,000 kilometers. Same roads. Same engines available everywhere in the world. So why does their engine outlast yours by hundreds of thousands of miles? It's not the oil brand, it's not the car. It's 4 specific steps they follow during every single oil change steps that almost nobody in the West talks about. The Japanese have a word, Kaizen, which means continuous small improvements. Applied to engine maintenance, it means this. Every oil change is not just a service. It's an opportunity to reduce wear by a fraction of a percent. Do that 400 times over the life of an engine, and the compounding effect is dramatic. Change it between 3,000 to 3,100 miles? Synthetic oil saves your engine only under the right conditions. Expensive filters? They matter, but not how most people think. If you're someone who cares about protecting your vehicle with real facts, instead of marketing hype, hit that subscribe button right now. It's actually shocking that over 95% of viewers don't subscribe, despite saving hundreds or even thousands from the information in these videos. Subscribing costs you nothing, but helps me keep bringing you content that dealers don't want you to see. After years of studying how engines actually wear over time, one thing becomes clear. The difference between an engine that struggles at 150,000 miles and one that crosses 300,000, even 500,000, doesn't come down to oil brand or marketing claims. It comes down to a few overlooked details during the oil change itself. Let me show you exactly what they do. How engines actually wear. Before we get into those 4 steps, understand this. Engines don't fail because oil gets old. They fail when lubrication conditions break down. Inside the engine, moving parts ride on a pressurized oil film, often thinner than a human hair. When that film stays stable, wear is minimal. When it doesn't, microscopic damage begins. Most long-term wear doesn't happen at highway speed. It happens during startup and contamination buildup. Cold oil flows slower, fuel dilution rises, additives are stressed. Repeat that cycle thousands of times and wear compounds. Japanese mechanics understand this at a fundamental level. That's why their approach to oil changes looks different from a typical quick service shop. Let's look at the first step. Step 1. Engine temperature at the time of drain. The first critical stage happens before you touch the drain plug. Most oil changes are done whenever the car arrives. Sometimes cold, sometimes barely warmed up. But oil doesn't behave the same at all temperatures. When oil is cold, its viscosity is higher, it flows slower. Contaminants, like combustion byproducts, microscopic metal particles, and soot, are less uniformly suspended. When oil reaches full operating temperature, 2 important things happen. First, viscosity drops to its designed operating range, allowing it to drain more freely. Second, contaminants remain suspended in the oil, rather than settling in low-flow areas. That means a properly warmed engine allows more contaminated oil to exit the crankcase during the drain process. This doesn't mean you remove 100% of old oil. That's mechanically impossible. But draining at operating temperature reduces dilution of fresh oil, with heavily contaminated residue. Practical takeaway: drive the vehicle until it reaches full operating temperature, ideally 10-15 minutes of normal driving. Then drain the oil while it's still warm, not scalding hot, not ice cold. Proper operating temperature. This is the first moment where longevity either improves or stays average. Step 2. The hidden drain window. The next critical detail is how long you allow the oil to drain. It's not complicated and it doesn't require special tools. In many quick service environments, once the mainstream slows down, the drain plug goes back in, 5 minutes, maybe less. From a business perspective, that makes sense. From a long-term wear perspective, it's not ideal. Even after the main flow stops, residual oil continues returning to the pan from upper engine components, valve train areas, timing components, and oil galleries. Oil clings to surfaces. It drains slowly, it needs time. Fresh oil contains detergents, dispersants, and anti-wear additives designed to protect your engine. When it immediately mixes with oxidized residue, its chemical stability is slightly reduced from day one. Practical takeaway: after the mainstream slows, give the engine time. 10 to 15 minutes of total drain time is reasonable for most vehicles. Longer if possible. You don't need gimmicks. You don't need chemicals. You just need patience. Most engines don't die from one big failure. They die from 1,000 small shortcuts. This is how you stop taking them. Step 3. Startup protection and filter quality. The next critical step happens right after the drain plug goes back in, oil filter installation. And what happens during startup? Most people treat the filter as a simple replacement part. Remove, install, tighten, done. But the filter directly affects how quickly oil pressure stabilizes when the engine starts. At startup, the pump pulls oil from the pan, pushes it through the filter, and distributes it through the galleries. Until pressure stabilizes, the engine briefly operates in boundary lubrication, where components are more vulnerable. What matters? Filter quality, specifically verified efficiency, and anti-drain back valve design. Apply a thin film of fresh oil to the gasket before installation. Hand tighten correctly, not over-torqued, not loose. If the filter mounts vertically, pre-filling can slightly reduce stabilization time. Over 250 to 500,000 miles, small reductions in startup stress compound into a dramatically different engine. Step 4. Refill method and overfill risk. The last critical step happens after everything looks finished. The drain plug is tight, the filter is installed. Now comes the part most people rush: refilling the engine. First, avoid overfilling. More oil does not mean more protection. If the level is too high, the crankshaft can contact the oil in the pan, causing aeration, tiny air bubbles that reduce lubrication stability, and in severe cases, affect oil pressure. Repeated overfilling adds unnecessary stress to seals and the crankcase ventilation system over time. Second, refill with control and verify the level. Instead of adding the full capacity at once, pour about 80 to 90% first. Allow it to settle, then top off gradually, near full, but not above it. After startup, let the engine idle briefly, shut it off, and recheck the level to confirm proper distribution. When you consistently drain at operating temperature, allow proper drain time, install a quality filter correctly, and refill carefully, you reduce cumulative stress over thousands of cycles. None of these steps are dramatic, but together, they change the long-term wear equation. Oil chemistry and why intervals matter. Engine longevity isn't just about how you change oil, it's about when you change it. Modern engine oil isn't just lubricant, it's a chemical system. Base oil blended with detergents, dispersants, anti-wear additives, oxidation inhibitors, and viscosity modifiers. Over time, that chemistry degrades. Heat breaks down stabilizers. Fuel dilution thins viscosity. Moisture and combustion byproducts increase contamination. Even full synthetic oil eventually oxidizes. That's why interval matters. Manufacturer recommendations like 7,500 or 10,000 miles assume average conditions. But short trips, stop-and-go traffic, cold starts, and turbocharged engines accelerate degradation. A 4,500-mile interval under mixed driving conditions isn't mandatory or magical. It's conservative. And over decades, conservative maintenance reduces risk accumulation. That's the real difference. Not marketing claims. Not secret techniques. Just consistent control of contamination and additive depletion, the Kaizen mindset. 100,000 versus 500,000 owners. There's a reason Japan's vehicle inspection system, called Shaken, is one of the strictest in the world. Every 2 years, cars go through rigorous checks. Owners who want to pass don't wait for problems. They prevent them. That's the Kaizen philosophy applied to car ownership. Small, consistent improvements, repeated over time, produce extraordinary results. The difference between a 100,000-mile owner and a 500,000-mile owner isn't mechanical knowledge. It's philosophy. Here's what that looks like in real life. At 70,000 miles, both cars feel fine. At 100,000 miles, both still run. At 200,000 miles, the gap starts to show. At 350,000 miles, one engine is silent. The other is gone. One engine is stable. The other starts consuming oil. Cold start noise becomes more noticeable. Compression slowly drifts. Not because of one big mistake, but because of thousands of small, average decisions. A Japanese taxi driver in Tokyo ran his Toyota Crown to 800,000 kilometers. When asked his secret, he said, "I treat every oil change like the engine is listening. No magic oil, no special additive, just discipline repeated thousands of times." Extreme longevity isn't about perfection. It's about reducing cumulative stress over time. The system that separates average from exceptional. There is no magic oil. No secret additive. No mystical 500,000-mile trick. The Japanese didn't discover a secret ingredient. They mastered a system. And that system is available to anyone willing to follow it. The system? Drain at operating temperature. Allow proper drain time. Install quality filtration correctly. Refill carefully. Choose intervals based on real conditions, not marketing claims. These aren't dramatic steps. They're disciplined ones. And discipline, repeated thousands of times over the life of an engine, is what separates average longevity from exceptional longevity. Most engines don't die from one big failure. They die from 1,000 small shortcuts. You just learn how to stop taking them. If you treat oil changes as a long-term wear management strategy, not just a routine service, you dramatically increase the odds of your engine running quietly for decades.